Hey friend, this is Jennifer, and this is the Jennifer Allwood Show, the podcast for women who want to learn how to live an intentional life or build their creative business. I'll be giving you my very best business tips, bringing you interesting guests, giving you a daily dose of Jesus, and I'm committed to always keeping it real. Grab a cup of coffee and let's dive in. I'm so honored that you're here. Hey there, friends. Welcome back to the podcast. This is podcast episode 131, where I talk about how you can pick a business coach. I want to chat with you about this. It's because I'm a business coach. This is near and dear to my heart. And I get a lot of questions about what should I look for in a coach? How do I know if we'd be a good fit? How do I know if it's worth the money? What kinds of questions should I ask? Whether it's, people interested in my coaching or somebody else's. And so I want to help you with that today. And we're going to talk about that on this episode. But first, I want to quickly give a shout out to Jamie Bailey. Jamie is a counselor at Expedition Marriage. And so she went to iTunes and left the podcast a review. And she said, "Truth, joy, business, and Jesus. Jennifer is a pioneer that I'm willing to follow. She says the hard things that I need to hear. It's like a smack in the rear followed by a big hug." And Jamie, that just cracked me up. I literally was telling somebody about my book the other day, and I was saying the exact same thing. I'm like, the book is basically like I'm hugging you, but like I'm kicking you in the booty at the same time. So Jamie, I thank you. I just pray blessings on your business at Expedition Marriage. I pray handfuls on purpose that God would just download lots of creativity and clients and customers to you, and that you would just be able to expand that thing beyond your very wildest dreams in Jesus' name. And so every time you guys go and leave us a review over on iTunes, it matters. We see them, I read them, and I want to give you guys a shout out whenever I can. So please do me a favor and go find Jamie Bailey at Expedition Marriage on all the social media platforms. So we talked about on episode 82 of this podcast, we talked about why every business owner should have a business coach. All right. And I personally have had a business coach for 6 years. And I've had several different coaches at several different times, depending on what the needs were in my business. So I need you to know that I am both a business coach and a business coach client. I do think that if you, especially in the online space, are trying to grow your business at all, that it's super important that you have somebody who is further along than you, who's teaching you some things that you could perhaps definitely, most probably learn on your own, but it's going to take you a lot longer. And what a coach should help you do is get from point A to point V quicker and give you kind of a different, broader version for what you're trying to do. So let's talk real quickly about what qualities I think that you should look for if you're looking for a business coach, okay? And there's 4 main qualities that I want you to look for. If you're somebody who likes to take notes, please grab a pencil and a paper because this is the meat of the podcast. So number 1, and by the way, these are in no particular order, okay? But number 1 thing I want to talk about is if you're looking for a business coach, are you guys aligned? Is there an alignment between you and the person that you're going to be paying? Meaning, do you share similar values? Do you share similar morals? I don't always think that you need to share the same faith. Now, listen, there are going to be some people that disagree with me on this, but just because I am a Christian does not mean I have always had Christian coaches. For some of you, that's going to be shocking. But listen, I think that it's really important that we understand, even if you are a believer, that you can learn things from people who are of a different faith or no faith from you. Now, with that being said, you better be rooted really strongly in what you believe and know why you believe what you believe to not get led astray. However, we can learn from anybody. I can learn from my kids. I can learn from somebody I don't like. I can learn from someone who has different religious beliefs than what I do. So if you're looking for a coach, though, I think it's super important that your values and your morals are lined up. Like, it would be really difficult for me to pick, let's say, Gary Vaynerchuk as a business coach. I don't even think he does that. But we'd be really misaligned because he's all about the hustle and I'm all about the rest. He's all about the push, 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 and I'm all about the pray, pray, pray. He's all about the go all out, balls to the wall, pedal to the metal all the time. And I'm not. I'm all about quiet time on the deck in the morning, asking the Lord, what is it that you need me to focus on today? His business is his utmost priority, and he will tell you that. And while my business is very much a priority in my life, it's not the foremost priority. And so when you're looking for a coach, I want you to determine if your values and your morals line up. That's a really great thing to look for from the beginning. So is there alignment? Second thing I want you to look for, Is the person you're considering hiring for business coaching, are they where you want to be? Okay. So let me give you myself, for instance. I make the majority of my money in the online space. So it would make no sense for me to pick a business coach who's rocking it like wholesale. That wouldn't even be, it's like a total mismatch. It wouldn't make sense for me to pick a business coach who mostly coaches people who have brick and mortars. That would make no sense for me either. Could I possibly learn a thing or two? Absolutely. But are those people where I'm hoping to be someday? If not, then that's not a good fit for me. And that's not a good fit for you. So when you're looking at coaches, is the person that you're considering for a coach, or if you're looking at a handful of them, who is kind of in the same position that you would like to be in one day? Who has already kind of made it in the space that you want to be in one day? If you're looking to really build your social media, then get with a coach who focuses on that. If you're looking to build, your brick and mortar, get with a coach who does that. If you're really looking to, talk to somebody and really work with somebody about wholesale and product development, get with a coach who kind of specializes in that sort of thing. But make sure that that coach is where you want to be. They're like doing the thing that you want to be rocking at yourself one day. Third thing to look for when you're looking for a coach. Does the person you're considering to coach you, do they have a track record? You may very well, fine and dandy, like them as a human being, but do they have success, or are they just pretending to be successful? Like it's interesting to me. The longer I coach, the more coaches I see. And, I think that kind of is one of those things, like if you get a red Ferrari, then suddenly you notice everybody that's driving a red Ferrari. So, I didn't even realize there were as many coaches out there before I started coaching. But now there are so many coaches who are like raising other coaches, and those coaches are raising other coaches who are raising other coaches. And it's just very like incestuous. And so what you have going on is you have people who are coaching other coaches who are taking the information as soon as they learn it, and they're regurgitating the information to somebody else. And then those people are taking that information as soon as they learn it, and they're regurgitating it to other people as well. And that there isn't a track record of having learned the information themselves, of having gone through the process of actually doing the thing that they're coaching on. And they may be a wonderful person, and they may know a little bit about, a lot of things. But does the person that you're looking at to coach you, do they have a track record actually doing the thing? Do they actually have the financial success that you're hoping to have one day? Because the bottom line is, like, when you have somebody that's coaching you, you're trying to kind of get under whatever anointing they have, regardless of if they're a religious person or not. But if there's somebody that is like, God's grace is clearly on their life, because newsflash, God's grace is even on non-believers. Okay. He reigns on the just and the unjust. And so get underneath the leadership. Even if you have different religious beliefs, still okay. Make sure that you're picking a business coach who has shown they've demonstrated success in this area. If you are hiring somebody to help you grow your business and they still have loans out on their business, you need to move right along. If you're having somebody help you grow your business and they're living month to month, nope, that's a hard pass for me. If you are hiring somebody or looking to hire a business coach and they are still in the middle of the struggle, I don't know that that's wisdom, friends. I don't know that that's wisdom. That to me feels more like the blind leading the blind. You've got to hire people that have a track record in the area that you're really needing coached in. And they don't have to be a million miles ahead of you. They just have to be a few steps ahead of you. They don't have to be bajillionaires, but they do have to be doing better than you. Otherwise, you could be coaching them. So when you're looking for a coach, make sure that they've got a track record. Make sure that you can do the math and you can see that they actually can prove what they say that they have done in business. Does that make sense? You can actually look in my Facebook groups and see that I have over 2,000 women at $47 every single month to kind of get an idea of where my business is at. And that's just one place of income. You can look in my group and see that I have 750 people who just took my 6-week long course at roughly $1,000 a person. You can see that evidence. Make sure you can see some evidence and a track record for whoever you're asking or considering to coach you. Okay. Fourth thing, figure out ways to kind of, for lack of a better word, test them out. Okay, so in the way that the marketplace is today and what we're all doing in the online space, if there is somebody who is coaching, she or he probably has a podcast. She or he probably has some freebies on their website. She or he probably has videos on YouTube. And so you could kind of get an idea if you like their style of coaching and teaching or not. I know that recently I was in somebody's coaching program that I recently backed out of because I wasn't a fan of the way that they led. And I should have done more of my due diligence. And so, that's my fault. No big deal. Moving right along. And so it was just a monthly group, but try them out somehow. Like if you watch them for free on Facebook Live and you learn things from them every single time, that should be a really good indicator that if they give you this much value for free, what will they give you for paid? If you already have found their podcast, like you're listening to mine right now, you already kind of have an idea of how I teach. It's like the woman at Expedition Marriage at the beginning of the show. It's like what she said. I'm trying to give you a hug and tell you you're precious, while at the same time I'm trying to kick you in the booty because I don't want you to stay the same. That is my style of coaching. And that's not everybody's cup of tea. And I'm unoffended by that. Like I would so much rather you didn't even come into my coaching group just to turn around, in 3 weeks and start complaining and want to leave. Like not even worth it. Don't even bother. If you're someone who is looking for a coach, by the way, you can go, I've got a free video series that's coming out in September. If you go to creatorsinnercircle.com/video series, creatorsinnercircle.com/video series, all one word, you will get a real good indicator of what my coaching style inside of my groups is like. It's 3 free videos. It's called the Social Success Series, where I'm teaching people who are really needing some more help in their social media, what to focus on. Giving them some ideas, trying to kind of cut through some of the clutter that's out there about social media. And then also I'm giving them like an audit of the things that they can look for on their social media. And that's all stuff that I do real time in my coaching groups. So if there's some way for you to kind of try out the person that you're considering coaching you, try them out, whether it's on Facebook Lives or YouTube or what have you. But at the end of the day, if you're like, the sound of her voice is like nails down a chalkboard, probably not the coach for you, kid. Probably not. So those are the 4 things I think you should do when you're trying to pick out a business coach. Determine if you are aligned in your morals and values. Number 2, figure out, is that person where you want to be? Figure out number 3, do they have a proven track record? And number 4, is there a way that you can possibly try them out for free? Not have them coach you for free, okay? Let's talk about this for just a second. If I had $1 for every single person who sends me a DM asking me, will you take a peek at my blog and tell me what I'm doing wrong? Will you take a peek at my Facebook page and tell me why I don't have more followers? What do you think I should do first, a course or a membership? If I had $1 for every one of those DMs that I get, and then I say, hey, are you in my coaching group? And then they say, oh, no, I'm not. And then I say, well, I reserve all of my coaching for the people who are investing in me because I really want to invest back into the businesses who are investing into my paid groups. It's not that I won't help plenty of people, but I help you guys in podcasts for free. I help you like on things like that video series for free. I help you with freebies that you can get all over my website. You can go to my blog right now and get tons of blog posts. I have a book coming out for you. Some of the content we will be giving to you, free in terms of Facebook posts, PDFs, those sorts of things. So I give plenty away for free. Don't ask for advice for me to go check something out for you if you're not in one of my groups on a DM. Hey, I don't know you, and you're trying to get something for nothing. And that is not a good business plan. Will somebody hear me? You trying to get something for nothing is not a good business plan. It's not. It's not. And then you putting on your pissy pants because I won't look at your blog is even a worse business plan. So I don't know why I got off on that tangent, but I'm sure that's none of you. But I'm just saying, it might be somebody you know. So some additional thoughts. I want you to really keep in mind that when it comes to coaching, there are a couple of different ways you can be coached. Okay. Number 1 is one-on-one coaching. And number 2 is group coaching. I no longer do one-on-one coaching. I just don't. It exhausted me. The year before last, I did 11 different clients twice a month with one-on-one coaching, which meant I was doing 22 phone calls every single month. And that to me was exhausting. As just the way that I'm wired, I don't know if it's the Enneagram 3 thing. I don't know if it's the high S on the personality profile. I don't know if it's the fact that I'm a quick start. I don't know. All I know is 22 calls a month for me left me absolutely positively drained. And so one-on-one coaching is not a good fit for me. So the only coaching that you have available to get from me is my group coaching, which is what a lot of people do. It's very difficult to scale one-on-one coaching. Now, if you emailed my team and you said, Jennifer, could I pay you for a full day of coaching? I will fly into Kansas City. I will pay for my own airfare. I'll pay for my own hotel. I just need you to coach me on my business for the entire day. Will you give me a price? Absolutely. I will do that. But if you're asking me for several phone calls a month with you, can't do. No can do. I love you, but I can't scale that and it wears me out. And so group coaching is what I do. And I need for you to know that you need to really have realistic expectations when it comes to what you will get for that price. Okay. So recently, we've had, somebody that's come through my coaching group and who is upset that they haven't gotten any one-on-one time with me at a price point of $47 a month. And I'm like, no. My price for one-on-one coaching used to be $3,300 for 3 months. And so no, you're not going to get one-on-one coaching from me in a group setting for $47 a month. So I want you, as you're looking for a coach and you're thinking about who to hire, please be really realistic about you're going to get what you pay for. For $47, $67 a month, you're going to be probably getting group coaching and you can learn plenty from that. Don't think that just because that coach isn't talking to you and your business specifically, that you can't learn about what she's saying to Linda and Lucy and Diane and Karen and whoever. Okay, so that's one thing. Another thing I want to really talk to you about, and every coach who listens to this is going to be like applauding me right now because this is really stuff that needs to be said. Okay, so number one, be realistic about what you're going to get. Number two, I want you to realize that your coach is not going to figure out your entire business for you. That is not her job or his job. They are not your business savior. Okay, a good coach is going to help drill down and help you to drill down to figure out what your own answers are and what your next thing for you should be. A good coach is not going to do it for you. That's something totally different. That's like a different position that you would be hiring for in your business where somebody can steer your career. A coach is not going to do that for you. They're not going to figure out your entire business model. They're not going to be your business savior. They're going to help lead you to your own answers. Will they give you ideas? Absolutely. But the work is going to be up to you. And you can't be really unrealistic and think that your coach should care more about your business than you care about it yourself, because that is really unhealthy as well. And I had a couple people that I coached that were like that. I was more emotionally invested in them growing as a business owner than what they were. And that's super painful. So please be realistic about how much time and what you're going to get from your coach, depending on the price point. And second, please remember that your business coach is not supposed to save your entire business or figure it all out. Their job is to help lead you to an answer, to help give you some perspective, some ideas, so you can figure out what you need to do in your own business. I hope that was really super helpful. I can tell you that coaching the 2,000 plus women that I get to every month is literally like my favorite part of my job. I love it so, so much. We had an hour and 30-minute call today, an hour and like 40-minute call actually, that was supposed to be an hour long, where I did nothing but answer questions on a one-on-one basis. I literally pull their face up on the screen. They tell me what's going on in their business. I tell them what I think that they should do. Several times we cry a little bit. Today I got to talk to like Imperfect Dust, who's now got her signs in, she's got them in Kirkland's. She's got them in, where else is the other store that she has them in? Oh, I don't want to be a liar and say it's somewhere she's not. Well, I know she's got them in Kirkland's. And we got to just rejoice with her about how much her business is growing. It's so much fun for me to do that. And to really, when I do have that opportunity in a group setting to give you some coaching on a one-on-one basis in front of the rest of the group, it is just, it trips my trigger. And I love it so much that I get to help you figure out why you're stuck. And when I can help a woman figure out why she's stuck in her business, and I see the light bulbs go on, and she figures out the thing that's been holding her up, and then she gets the courage to do the thing that she needs to do, and she changes her business, which therefore changes her life. I mean, it lights me up like nothing else. And so I love coaching. And so I encourage you, if you don't have a coach, find a coach. Doesn't have to be me. I am not for everybody. You can be the juiciest peach in the whole world, and still there's going to be people who do not like peaches. So I am not the coach for everyone. I really do I have a huge mix in my coaching group of people of all faith, all ages. We have mostly women, but some men. We definitely don't have all creatives. We used to 4 years ago, but now we've got real estate people and dog walkers, and we have people in the medical industry, and we have a sleep therapist. We get to talk to Samantha Day today, who's a sleep coach. And so we have tons of different things in the group. It's a really wide variety. And if you are in a group setting, I want you to know that group, and I did not plan on, this was not in my notes at all. So this is for somebody who's listening to me right now. If you're someone who has been messing around with this thing for a hot stinking minute, you haven't really gone all in on your business, and you know full darn good and well you haven't. You may have told people you have, but you know you haven't. The very best thing you could do is get into a group coaching situation where community is a big deal. Now listen, there are some business coaches who don't have a community component. They don't want people talking back and forth and making relationships. That is not my group. We have some people that have been in my group for 4 years. They call themselves the original gangsters, the OGs. And they have been around for 4 years. They are tight as I don't even know what. Those women see each other. They make visits to each other's houses. I am so glad that I was able to just provide like a playground for a bunch of people to meet one another and find their best business buddies inside of my group. If community is important to you, or if you've been jacking around, kind of messing around, you haven't really been taking it seriously, please find a coaching group. Find one. Find one tomorrow. Because when you get inside of a group where all these people are like moving in the same direction, you can't help but move in the same direction with them. It's like when I used to do triathlons and we would all start swimming at once. Part of me wouldn't even need to swim because the motion of all the other people around me would kind of pull me in their direction. So if you're like stumped, stuck, not sure what to do, dilly-dallying, fiddle farting, etc., I encourage you to find a coaching group because you'll get in the mix of it and you can't help but just to start to like grow through osmosis. You can't help but just to pick up on some tips and some tricks and to start to get motivated when you hear about people who are winning. And by the way, winning might just be making an additional $300 a month so you can pay the truck payment. Winning does not have to rule the world. Some of you need to rule your neighborhood before you even try to imagine ruling the world. Some of you need to get some rule over your household before you're attempting to rule the world. We're not all called to rule the world. I have no desire to rule the world. But I do have a desire to really affect the people that God's put immediately into my world, and that means on the internet as well. So, gosh, I hope that's helpful for somebody. I love business coaching, but when I get a lot of questions about how do I go about picking a business coach, I like to educate people. So like I said, if you're interested in a coach, you can certainly go, you can go to my waiting list for the next time we open. It's at the end of September. It's at creatorsinnercircle.com. But get in that video series. You'll get a taste of what my coaching is like, and we'll go from there. And do your due diligence, friends. Alrighty. A good business coach can really help pull out of you things you didn't even know you were capable of. They can help you to see kind of what's going on that you maybe didn't even consider and just give you a different perspective on your business. And that is always a good thing. So, all right, guys, I'm so glad that you're here. Next week, we are going to be doing a case study from another one of the women that I've had the honor of coaching. This is somebody you're really going to be able to learn from. She's going to let us peek behind the curtain of her business. And I think you're going to be really encouraged. You know, there's so many people who hold their business secrets close to them. And this person isn't one of them. And so it's always, I think, so beneficial when somebody will really just show us the real deal in their business. So you're going to get that next week on the podcast. Make sure you're subscribed so you get a notification on Wednesday when it's live on iTunes. And until then, stay creative, friends. We'll see you then. Bye-bye. Hey friend, thank you so much for listening to the podcast again this week. I'm so honored that you're here and that you just listen week in and week out and that you share the Jennifer Allwood Show with your friends and family. Thank you. Hey, don't forget that you can subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, or if you're an Android user, go download the Stitcher app and you can subscribe there so that you know every single week when a new episode releases. Also, if you have any time to leave us a review, these reviews are super important in getting guests for the show and sponsors for the show. And so we'd appreciate it if you have just a second to leave us a review. That would be amazing. Thank you guys again for being here. And until next week, stay creative.